Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a break from muscle cars and we're going to be changing the oil in this 2019 Volkswagen Atlas SEL R-Line. Okay, so we're going to be changing the oil in the 2019 Volkswagen Atlas today. It's got the 3.6 liter V6. We're going to be using mobile oil, ZRW30. You can actually use different weights depending on the climate that you drive mostly in. The one thing that you want to do is just check the owner's manual. Make sure that whatever you're using is 502 or 504 approved by Volkswagen. That's really the key here, is just make sure that it's Volkswagen approved oil. There's a number of different manufacturers. I just so happen to choose the mobile one for this oil change. The other thing is I always use Wix filter, so I've got the Wix filter here. It is a 57462 part number. You can get it at your local parts store. They'll have them on hand. If not, they can order them in for you. I think I actually got this one from Amazon, so maybe I'll put a link in the description just so you have it. But those are basically what you're going to need in terms of the oil and the filter for this job. So just a few basic tools that are needed for this oil change. The one thing that most people may not have is going to be the 36 millimeter socket, and that's to take the oil filter housing off when you get to that point. Something else that you may not have is a torque wrench. So if you don't have a torque wrench, it's not a big deal. You can still do this oil change, but if you have one, it makes things a lot easier because now you can torque the filter and the oil pan bolt to the exact specs that Volkswagen calls for. So other than that, it's really just an 18 millimeter socket or wrench to get the oil pan bolt off. And then you'll need a T25 and a T45 Torx bit. And these will be for the bolts that hold in the splash shield underneath the carriage. Something else you may need is maybe a few extensions, and then I always grab my swivels just in case that there's a bolt or a screw that's in a hard spot to get. Once you're underneath the car, the first thing that you're going to want to do is take the splash shield out. So there are going to be 14 screws that hold this splash shield in place. There'll be 11 that are T25 size, and then there'll be 3 that are T45 size. So you'll just want to start taking all of those out, and then you can pull the splash shield out. There's actually supposed to be a screw right here in this section here, but it is missing. So I don't know if the dealer decided not to put it in there. It can sometimes be a little bit tricky to get to. If you have your screw in the splash shield in this location, typically just using a swivel on an extension is enough to get up in there and get that screw out. So once you get all of the screws out of the splash shield, it should just pull right out. There are going to be some tangs up in here, just some tabs across the front of the splash shield, and they just interlock. So those should come right out, and you should be able to just pull this splash shield right out of your way, and then you can move it to the side, and we can take the oil pan bolt out and start draining the oil. Just an 18 millimeter box wrench or socket on the oil pan bolt, and you should be able to just get it loose. It may take a little bit of force, but once you get that loose, then what you can do is just until the oil starts to drain out of it. One of the things that you'll want to do before you put the oil pan bolt back in is you'll want to inspect this crush washer. Just make sure that it's in good shape, it's not galled up, and it's not doesn't have any excessive damage. It's always a good idea to replace that if you have them laying around, but if you don't, as long as it's not, damaged, you should be okay to use the crush washer again. A lot of times you can buy these in a kit of 10 or 15, and I usually just keep a box of them around the shop, and then I just use them as needed every time I do an oil change. Especially on the Volkswagens, they seem to like to use these crush washers. But like I said, if you don't have any on hand and the one that you have isn't damaged, you should be in good shape. But just a little tip there to make sure that you inspect that crush washer before you put the bolt back in. Okay, so I'm going to put the bolt back in, and you know, I could sit here and let it drip forever and ever and ever. It'll never stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start the bolt and put that in there, and then I'm going to wipe it down real good, and then I'm going to finish tightening the bolt down. So I've got the bolt here. Don't forget your crush washer. You want to make sure you get that crush washer on there, and to avoid any potential seepage or leaks once it's tightened down. So we're just going to put this in. Like I said, I'm just going to get it started. That's going to stop the oil from dripping, and then I'm going to come in. I'm just going to wipe this whole section down, make sure that it's nice and clean as best I can get it underneath the bolt here, and then we're going to just keep tightening it down and keep going. So we're just going to finger tighten this. Now again, if you have a torque wrench, you can torque this to spec. If you don't, just get it good and snug. The one thing that you want to be sure you don't do is over tighten it. You don't want to strip it out, and you don't want to get it so tight that you can't get it off the next time around. The torque spec on the oil pan bolt is 30 Newton meters, which is the same as 22 foot-pounds. So we're just going to go ahead and use a torque wrench to get this tightened down. And once we get it tightened to spec, we should be all done here. I'm going to move on to the oil filter now. So we're going to get this removed. It sits at the front of the engine. So, you know, in relationship to the front of the car, it basically sits between the radiator and the block and the oil pan here. So there's a couple of approaches that you can take here. The first is that you can just simply take the entire housing off and let the oil drain as you're removing it. Or what you can do is take an Allen wrench. I think this is a 6mm Allen wrench. So this is a 6 Allen wrench, and you can actually put it in this little drain plug right here. And then you can get that loosened, and then you can take that plug all the way out, and then that will allow you to drain the housing out prior to taking the entire filter housing off of the block. So it's totally up to you. I actually like to go ahead and just pull that plug out. I think it makes less of a mess. And then we just want to be sure that we get that plug put back in. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and loosen this and drain it out, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to get the oil filter housing itself off. Now that I've got all the oil drained out of the filter housing, I went ahead and put the plug back in just loosely so that it's just not dripping and making a mess all over me. What I'll do once I get the housing out is I'll go ahead and disassemble everything. I'll take the plug out again, I'll get it all cleaned up, reassemble it, put the filter in it, and then we'll reinstall. You're just going to need your 36mm socket, and you're just going to put it right on the filter housing here, and you're just going to get it loose. It's not going to be very tight, and then you can just slowly loosen it. Now if you haven't drained out that filter housing yet, you'll need to make sure that you're careful about any oil starting to run down the sides here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, just to be careful here, I'm going to go ahead and put an oil pan underneath this to catch any additional oil that may seep out. So now I can just kind of get it by hand, and you can see that there's some oil dripping down around the sides of the housing. So I'm just going to get up here and try to stay out of the way, and it'll eventually come loose. Here it comes. Just going to move it down, and the filter should come right into the housing. I've got the filter housing cap all cleaned up now, and I'm ready to install the new filter, but there's just a few things that I want to check before I do that. If you take out this drain bolt here, this 6mm plug, be sure, one, that you get it back, you put it back, or you're going to have a lot of problems. The other is don't over tighten it. So this should only be tightened to about 10 Newton meters, which is 7 foot-pounds, so not very much at all. Again, if you don't have a torque wrench, just get it good and snug, and don't over tighten it. It has an O-ring on it, so it should seal just fine as long as you get it nice and snug. So, you know, like I said, I've got this all cleaned up, and so we're ready to insert the new filter. And this filter it's just going to snap right into place. So there's a few things that you want to do before you insert it. There's going to be a rubber O-ring on this part of the filter. We're going to want to make sure that we use a little bit of oil here and just get it lubricated. It doesn't have to be, you know, excessive, but you want to get that all lubricated, and, you know, get a good film of oil on there. The other thing that you want to do is there will be a brand new O-ring with the filter, and you're going to want to replace the O-ring that's on the filter cap. One of the things that you want to do is just make sure that you take note of where it is. So I can see here that it's basically in the second groove from the bottom of the cap flange here. So I'm just going to use this little pick. You could use a screwdriver if you wanted, and we're just going to work it loose here. And then it should come right out. The other thing that I'll do, since there's a little bit of oil in there, is I'll just run a rag or a towel through there just to get a lot of the excess old oil out of the way. So now what we can do is we can just install the new ring. It should go right on. Be careful, don't get too aggressive with it. You don't want to pop it in two. You don't want to break it. So what I do is I usually just roll it right on. So I've got it there. It's not quite in the right groove yet. It's got to go one more groove. And now I've got it in the right groove. And very similar to what we did on this cap, or on that filter part, is we're just going to put a ring of oil all the way around it. I'm just going to put a little film of oil all the way around that O-ring. And then what we'll do is we'll just simply take the filter itself. It should snap right into place. And now it's ready to be installed. Before I put this oil filter housing back in, the cap, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this out as best that I can. Just get any excessive amount of oil out of the way, get it clean, and then we're ready to go ahead and stick the oil filter back up. Now you may have to move this hose right here out of your way so that you can get it nice and square when you go to thread it in, because you don't want to get it sideways and get it cross threaded. So it's important that you get that in there. It should just go right in by hand. If it doesn't, back it out and double check again. You don't want it to take any amount of force to get it in. Just nice and easy, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten it to spec, which is 25 Newton meters. I think they actually allow plus or minus 5, so 20 to 30 Newton meters, and you should be good to go. That's about 220 inch-pounds if you want to convert it into pounds, or you could even convert it into foot-pounds. So we're just going to go here with our torque wrench until it pops. Here it goes. And now it's popping, so now we know that we're torqued to 25 Newton meters, and we should be in good shape. Okay, so now that we've got the oil pan bolt back in, and we've got the oil filter back in, we're now ready to put the splash shield in. So I'm going to go ahead and get that going. It's basically the reverse process of taking it out. What I'll do is I'll start off by getting those tabs pushed up into here and wedged in across the front, and then we'll push it up, we'll get it all aligned, and we'll get those 14 Torx head screws put back in. So one little tip before you start putting oil into the engine is if you've got a funnel that has a long, narrow spout to it, that actually works a lot easier than something that has a larger diameter spout like this yellow funnel here. This will work. You'll just have to hold it with one hand and pour with the other. But there's a baffle that sits down inside of here, and it prevents this from actually seating down in there. So again, if you have something that's a little bit narrower, it will actually fit right down in there. and then it's a little bit easier to get the oil directed straight into the engine. Now, you don't need a funnel if you have a really steady hand, but I always like to use a funnel when I'm pouring the oil in, just to keep from making any unnecessary messes. The other thing too is that be sure that you get 6 quarts of oil. Most of the larger containers, like the one that I showed you earlier, this container here, this is really just 5 quarts, right? And so you'll need an additional quart beyond this. So be sure that you get 6 quarts, and then that way you can just put the appropriate amount of 5.8 quarts into the engine. Now that we have the oil all changed in the car, the last thing that we need to do is reset the change oil service message. And that's simple to do. We'll just do that from the dashboard here in the infotainment system. We're going to be using the buttons on the steering wheel, the right button and the left button to scroll through the menus, the OK button to select. And then once we get to the service menu itself, we can use the up and the down buttons to select what we want to look at or what we want to reset. So that's going to be really simple. We're going to start here, anywhere in the dashboard, and what you want to do is scroll through until you get to driving data. Once you're at driving data, I usually just hit OK. And then hold the OK button down for 5 or 6 seconds and then release. And you will now see in the service menu, you have the option to reset the oil change service. So we're going to select that. We're going to hit OK. It's going to then ask you to confirm that you want to reset the oil service. And now you can see that the oil service interval has been reset, and you should now be good until the next interval, which should be about 10,000 miles on the VW Atlas.